The Chaplain's Watch, a final piece. The mud of Passchendaele was a hungry beast, swallowing men and machines alike. In the middle of the swamp stood a small wooden shack that served as a makeshift hospital. Inside was Father Thomas, a man who had long ago traded his comfortable parish for a life of service in the ruins. He didn't carry a gun. He carried a small silver pocket watch and a book of prayers. One night, after a failed offensive, the shack was overflowing with the wounded. The air was thick with the smell of damp wool and the low, agonizing moans of boys who knew they wouldn't see the dawn. Among them was a young corporal named Liam, whose breath was coming in short, jagged gasps. He was terrified, his eyes darting around the dark room, searching for something to hold on to. Father Thomas sat by Liam's side. He didn't offer empty platitudes about glory or the king. Instead, he pulled out his silver watch and held it to Liam's ear. "Listen," Thomas whispered. The steady, rhythmic tick-tick was the only sound of order in a world of chaos. "Every tick is a second closer to peace, son. Just follow the rhythm." For hours, the old man sat there, his own hand shaking with exhaustion, but his voice remained a steady anchor. He talked about the smell of rain on dry pavement and the way the sun looked through the stained glass of his old church. He used the watch to count Liam's breaths, turning the act of dying into a calm, measured journey rather than a frantic escape. By the time the sun began to pale the horizon, Liam had drifted away, a small, peaceful smile on his face. Father Thomas closed the silver watch with a soft click. He had stayed awake for 48 hours, guiding over a dozen souls through the dark. He stood up, his bones aching, and stepped out into the morning mist to prepare for the next wave of arrivals. Years later, the silver watch was found in a museum. Its hands stopped at exactly 4 a.m. It was donated by Liam's younger brother, who had received a letter from Father Thomas weeks after the battle. The letter didn't talk about the horrors of the war. It only spoke of the bravery of a boy who listened to the heartbeat of time until he found his way home. Father Thomas showed that sometimes the greatest act of courage isn't to fight, but to stay and hold the hand of someone who's afraid to go alone.